my day. I'm your quintessential actor. I want to say, keep watching Mid Morning Show and don't touch the...
Yes, it's a welcome you on board once again. I am Aditoke Olaleye.
Yes, good morning. It's another beautiful edition of the Mid Morning Show. Good morning to all our viewers out there. My name is Dolapo Olaomi. It's okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's been a fantastic week.
Yes.
And we are starting another week again. Well, it shows that as much as we can have the Monday blues, well, I'm just...
If you can see, as you can see, it's always...
As much as the Monday blues can try to get you, we need to shake it off and start with a new vibe. And we are starting with a new vibe on the show today. And of course, the new vibe is talking about love and submission in marriage. That's what we'll be talking about on the show today. Now, love and submission. Some believe that submission should come from the man alone, while some believe that submission should come from the woman alone, while some believe that it should be for both ways. However, some also believe that love and submission are not the same thing. They're quite different things. But is that the truth, actually?
Well, do you believe love and submission
I think,
should
for you to be able to submit, there has to be love. That's my point of view. So I don't know why people need to separate it, and should it even be together? That's another thing.
Well, so, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
We'll find out soon enough.
Yes, so we'll be trashing that out today. We'll be having two guests who will be taking us into that topic and be able to make our decisions at the end of the day. We will stick to love alone and submission, or merge both of them to ensure that there is a good marriage. However, before we go on that, we have a feature, and that is talking about love. L-O-V-E. Don't go anywhere.
Love. Such a beautiful word. A word which reminds us of the need to be selfless. A word that tells us we are surrounded by other humans. It is also a strong feeling of trust and security towards a person. Anybody can give or receive love. It is often said that you must love yourself enough to be able to love someone else, meaning you can't give what you don't have. Love makes a person selfless. Don't be too quick to think love is subjected to a romantic setting only. No. Love can be found in friendship, in a family, in a country, in a city, in a town, in a church, or in a mosque, in the marketplace, and on the streets. Love lives everywhere. Love means you accept a person. It means you agree with someone. Love is not the absence of disputes or disagreements. Love is, in fact, agreeing and acknowledging the differences in people and deciding to work with them in uniformity. As earlier stated, love is not solely between romantic partners. There are different types of love, which include philia, eros, pragma, storge, ludus, mania, philautia, and agape. Filial love, which is known as the affectionate love. It is not characterized by romantic attraction. This type of love is exercised between friends and family members. Philia is also a type of love that is shared between people who share same values and have respect for each other. It is commonly referred to as brotherly love. Eros is an aboriginal love that comes as a natural instinct for most people. It is popularly known as the romantic kind of love that comes with so much passion. Eros is a passionate kind of love displayed through physical affection. This love is obtainable between two people who are attracted to each other. Another type of love is pragma, which is unique bounded love that matures over time. It is an everlasting love between a couple that chooses to put their commitment and dedication to make their relationship work. In most cases, pragma comes subconsciously. This feeling drives partner to themselves and has the feeling of satisfaction. So, instead of falling in love, you find yourself standing in love. Storge is another type of love which occurs naturally between parents and children, as well as friends. This kind of love is deeply rooted and is basically built upon acceptance and deep emotional connection. This love thrives between children and parents, and it's also easy to develop. You know the kind of love that comes with teasing, flirting, and playful motives? The type that is experienced at the early stage of a romantic relationship, or when a couple are still in their honeymoon stage. Well, that kind of love is called ludus. This type of love is mostly obtainable in young couples. Mania is another type of love, a love that is obsessive, characterized by jealousy or possessiveness. This type of love can be harmful if not controlled. Majorly, an imbalance of eros and ludus is the main root of mania. Then we have the philautia love, known as self-love. Self-love is a love that gives room for self-worth, a love that tells you that you deserve the best of life, a love that doesn't disregard your personal need. Self-love is a fountain where you acknowledge responsibilities for your well-being. This still comes back to you loving your own self enough to share it with others. And lastly, of the 8 types of love, we have agape, the highest level of love one can give or receive. It is the basics of which all other types of love exist. This type of love is sacrificial and unconditional. We hear the term unconditional love, and images of all sorts come up as we shudder. But to love someone unconditionally, simply or not, means we love an imperfect person. And we must remember that we are imperfect too. This type of love makes you come to a place where you can give love without expectations. Offering agape is choosing to spread love, no matter the situation or circumstances. The addictive nature of love and how human beings react when they feel loved is unexplainable. In fact, loving others have many benefits. Love can have a health benefit to an individual. Some of the benefits of loving and giving out love is feeling of joy. You experience peace when you love others. Love decreases depression and anxiety. Love increases feeling of wellness. Love relieves loneliness. Love reduces pain and blood pressure. Love boosts the immune system. Love increases self-love and confidence. Now that you know the benefits of love, it wouldn't be too much to say, love others. Love drains away factors like subjugation, hate, wars, kidnapping, discrimination in a country and between countries. If love truly exists, we will see others as our brothers and wouldn't want to inflict pain on them. It is the subtraction of love that gives room for hate in a family, in a community, in a state, and in a country. So it is important to learn to love your neighbor, whether you're tribe or not, black or white, short or tall. Love your community, and by that, it means be involved in spreading love within your community, and at large, love your country. Loving your country will mean being patriotic and never be the cause of disunity. Give others room. Your love should be an inspiration to someone to also love another. Before you think love is an easy ride or love is like taking a bowl of ice cream, let me say that love has components. In loving others, forgiveness is key. Every type of love is rooted in forgiveness. As an individual, you must avoid judging people. If you must love them, be a better listener, use patience, and also reflect self and dignity. The absence of love brings so much pain, abuse. It brings disunity among people and in a country at large. But if we will all come together and do our little part each day in spreading love, we can make the world a better place. We can always come to concession with love in existence. Let's spread love. Let's live love. And don't forget to give love to someone today, even if it's just a smile.
All right, that was a fantastic feature on love, L-O-V-E. Ha! To some people, love could be anything. So what's love to you? I hope that feature actually twisted your mind or changed your mind in whatever way you think that love is. But on our topic today, we're talking about love and submission, and that's in marriage. A lot of people believe that, okay, submission should just come from one side, while another believe that both sides should share the submission. And a lot of people believe that even love and submission should be separate words in marriage. So we're going to be discussing a whole lot today on the topic today. Again, love and submission in marriage. And of course, we have our guest with us who will be helping us out on the topic today. We have with us Mr. Alright Egbe. He is the counseling psychologist and family lawyer, and also the lead counselor at All Rights Passion, which provides therapy and counseling services on sex, relationship, marriage, family life, mental health, and other matters. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
And we have Mrs. Ibukunlu Auteshile, a counseling psychologist, founder and executive director of OSEC Foundation, which is an NGO. Thank you for coming on the show.
It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Welcome.
I'm particularly excited that I'm going to be having
conversations. I could see the introduction.
I could see that.
Our colleagues this morning, yes, colleagues together.
Yes.
It's really nice to have you both on the show today. However, that feature was talking about love. So before we dive into the love and submission, I would like to ask you, what's your take on love in general? You, sir. I knew. Why did you have the love at first?
Okay, for me, if I am looking at love, anytime I see love, I hear a person say, I love this person, what usually comes to my head is that I am committed to giving it all for this person, and giving not just all for this person, all for this person and all to this person, right? So for me, if you say you love a person, it means that definitely you have good feelings towards the person, right? So you get to like the person, and you are also now saying that I am duty bound to this person. I owe this person responsibility because I like them, because I want them, because I have them. Right? Not it shows that I've already accepted this person. You know, if I say I love you, it means I've already accepted you. It means I already like you. Yes, there are still some things that I want to get better. There are some things you even want to get better, right? But it means I accept this person. I want this person. And based on that acceptance, that feeling of attraction, that feeling of affection towards this person, that attraction of, oh, I also like how you look, and the rest, I become committed. I then owe you a duty, right? I then owe you a duty that I'm committed to. So this time it is what is flowing from me, what is coming from me.
I like that, commitment and duty too. I'll come to you.
Love. First, if there's anything I'll say, is just to draw the line between like and love, because many times we use it interchangeably. Now, so like is involuntary. You don't have control over the person that you like. You see somebody and you are attracted to this person, whether, you then develop amorous feelings towards that person is another thing. But you just naturally gravitate towards a person, or you have, whether you call it the butterflies or, caterpillars or whatever feeling you want to call it, that's likeness. It's involuntary. You don't have control over who you like and who you do not like, But love is intentional. It is voluntary. You choose to love a person. You don't choose to like. Now, sometimes you love the person you like. Some other times, we don't necessarily get to like the people we have to love. And that's the line that I want to draw. So love comes with that intentionality, the commitment which he then talks about. So it's a decision that you make that, oh, I love this person, or I want to love this person because of 1, 2, 3, 4 reasons. And because I am loving this person, I am now committed to this person. The interest of this person is, you know, is at my heart. It's like priority for me. What the person's well-being is priority for me because I choose to love. And then you begin to love is kind, love is patient. Love. So I decide that if I am saying that I love this person, I accept, just like I said, I am patient with this person. I will be patient with this person. I would ensure that the person's well-being is my preoccupation. We don't do, it's not every time that it's people that we like, that we do that too. So that, and many times we mix it up, you know, and that's where we say love is blind, you know, and then all of those things that we then begin to, love is not blind. Love is very, very, very clear-sighted. But despite it, it comes from a place of knowing, I know you have these flaws. You see the flaws. Despite knowing that you have these flaws, I will stay with you. I will be with you. I would, you know, give myself to you and work for you or with you. That is love. And that's the line between likeness. So I think the start is even to draw the difference between like and then love. So love is intentional. Love is not blind. Love, it comes with a lot of commitment and sacrifice. Love is more, it's more solid and tangible. You know, so with likeness, it is ephemeral. You know, you feel it, and then you don't feel it again.
Wow.
So love is not a feeling. It's not like, I feel good.
I like the fact we were able to address that. Because, you know, like our topic today says love and submission. I think Dolakwa wants to chip in something on that.
Yes, I want to chip in something. Because when you were talking earlier, you made mention of love being, you know, when you want to love someone, you have to be patient with them. Now, coming back to the basics, because so many people have the notion in their head that, oh, love don't exist. So how would you differentiate the love we had, you know, growing up, and the love we are getting to see now?
Let me use a woman as an example. Oh, well, first I'm a woman. But let me use a woman as an example. So you have different kinds and forms of love, or shades of love. Okay. If, you know, I can say, but I don't know if it's up to 50 shades. But you have different presentations and forms of love. So I'll cite an example. The relationship or the kind of love a woman has towards her husband is different from what she has towards her son. It's different from what she has towards her daughter. Sure. In fact, a woman can have 6 children and love each of the 6 of them differently. Yeah. And has the level of commitment to them at that level.
As a woman?
Yes, as a woman. The same thing with our relationship with our siblings. The relationship with our in-laws. The relationship with our friends, our girlfriends, or, you know, our bodies. So you find that love can take different forms. And what you see, if you are not bringing it to, you know, the question you had asked about the difference, what we used to see as love and what we see now
as love,
where we, I don't want to say where we went wrong, or why do we then find that it seemed to be different? Now, the truth is, many things that we attach to love are not love, are not forms and expressions of love. Now, those things were the things that, as we grow, before we didn't used to have telecommunications. Now we have telecommunications. Sure. So it's the same thing as across every human feeling, human endeavor also. So it's not so much that it is different. It's that there were a lot of things that were packed together as love that we have now unbundled because we know better, we see better, and our experiences are now a bit different. So it's not so much about that it has changed. No. The same concepts of love is the same thing. Okay. However, when you then bring it into marriage, into relationship, there were so many other things that make those things look like they work that are no longer existing now. So it's not about love. It's about those other things. And I believe that maybe in the course of conversation, we will begin to touch on that.
I would like to go to Mr. O right now.
Yes, please.
So we're talking about love and submission. Why is it that every time we want to talk about love, especially in marriage, submission always comes in? Like you said, love, I don't know, is from within. I accept you, you accept me. So why should submission be a problem?
Okay.
So my point is, what's the correlation between love, submission, in marriage?
Okay, let's do it this way. See, this is a topic I've been discussing for several years and working with people on it. And for every time I see people having issues with submissions in marriage, then I realize that they don't understand two things. Now, the first thing that I will say regarding it is the fact that we don't understand that a marriage is actually, we generally call it an institution.
Okay.
Right, but I call it an organization. So, right, so I'm able to differentiate your marriage from your family, because what you have with your husband is marriage.
Okay.
But what you have with your kids is not marriage, it's family. Right, to your husband, you are wife. To your kids, you are mother. That's two different positions, two different job descriptions, two different, I don't know whether I understand it now. So you are seeing the organization, you are looking at it as an organization. Now, there's a part of it where people get it wrong, is the fact that when people try to explain love and submission, they forget to realize that the concept submission in marriage that is always causing conflicts is a religious concept for Christians.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Love and submission is not a Yoruba thing. Yeah, because anytime people are talking about submission, they're always saying, like, the Bible says you should submit. You see, the whole idea of submission is that people want to go to the Bible and they try to bring it out from Ephesians, they try to bring it out from Colossians.
Yes, so wives submit to your husband.
Wives submit to your husbands, you get it, and the rest. So, in fact, the exact quote, love, wives submit to your husband, is Christian. That quote is not, you can't find it in Islam. That particular quote, wife submits to your husbands. Husbands, love your wives. That quote is a biblical quote. It's not in any other religion out of the maybe more than 2 million religions we had in the world. So now, it means that if you are going to use love and submission, the best way for you to want to interpret it may be either to interpret it from that religious concept.
Okay.
But then, let's make it better and see, is it just a religious concept or it is an organizational reality? Right? So, let's look at an organization. You can never have two bosses at the same time. Not even in BCOS. Right? We cannot have two bosses at the same time, not even in BCOS. But you can say, oh, at the end of the day, people are partners. You may want to break it down to say people are partners. So you want to look at it that the two of you are partners because you are the host and the anchor to this program. But then, have you ever seen any organization in the world? If you pick organization, they will always say, what is the hierarchy? What is the organogram? Right? Because when conflict happens at the end of the day, there should be, in every organization, there should be somebody who calls the final shots. Does that person have check and balance? Yes, there will be other systems and other structures to check and balance this person, whether it is the Oba of Ibadan or it is the president of Nigeria, right? So we have the executive, we have the legislature, we have the judiciary. We know that Mr. President is the #1 Nigerian, but we know that the judiciary is there to check him. Right? We know that the House of Assembly, they are also there to, the Senate can check him and say, oh, we are rectifying this decision, we are making this law, we are doing this to check him. So when it comes to law, when it comes to marriage and submission, that's actually how I see it. That's how I see it. If my marriage is an organization, should there ever be something that there is someone that will call the final shot?
Final shot.
If there is ever something, if there is ever a conflict that will require somebody in this organization, let's not call it marriage.
Okay, we are trying to look at it now like an organization.
Like an organization, because it's actually an organization.
But there's love. Oh.
You don't love your guy in BCOS. You do. According to what
love means.
What Ashile says.
Yes,
you love different people at different grades, at different levels.
Yes,
right?
different shades.
So now we love each other. we are into each other, but should there ever be conflict of interest? Should there ever be something that requires a person making a final decision? Now, does it mean that the two people don't have powers? The two people have powers. The two people have authority. The two people have different authorities. There are things that I would usually advise men when I'm seeing conflict in marriage, when it comes to the power struggle, right? When it comes to the power struggle, I'll usually say, what level of power do you want to give to your wife, and what power do you want to give to your husband? Right? When it comes to decision making, right? When it comes to some decision making, there should be things that whatsoever my wife says, like I told somebody, I say you can only stay in my house as long as you want to, as long as my wife wants. The day my wife says, I don't want this person in my house again, and that day I agree, because I have given her that power. How my kids will dress, for example, like, babe, do you think that this is the best way they should dress? Yes, fine, good, that's fine, right? Those are little things. When it comes to the money things, which may be the big things, when it comes to the decision place, bigger things, where should we live? Should we live in Ibadan, or we should go to Abuja? Right? Or we should go to Lagos? Right? When it comes to some of those bigger things and the rest, if there is ever conflict, so it may come to the part of if there's ever conflict, and the two of us are unable to come together as
to reach a conclusion.
To reach a conclusion, whose own should supersede. Or maybe it's not about that. When I want to write to, for example, so I'm looking at this as an organization. If I want to address an organization directly, okay, who should be that face that I should address? His SLSC, the governor of Oyo State. If I want to do something in Oyo State, it will be the SLSC. Maybe, of course, maybe the SLSC has given the power to another person, or he has given the authority to another person. But even that person will acknowledge that, see, I am here on the authority of this particular person, right? So the whole idea of submission in marriage is the fact that the two of us were independent people. Independent, very powerful people.
Yeah.
She lived her life amazingly. She was a superwoman before she got married. Her husband, on his own part, is a superman before he got married. The two of them have now come together.
So who will be submitting to who?
Now, who will be submitting to who? Is not what I have the power to decide for you.
Okay.
For your marriage.
Okay.
Because that now is not controlled by what does your religion say?
Or your culture.
What does your culture say? What does your civil law say? It is not me.
It's
not me for me to decide.
To you. Because now he's seen it as an organization. And now it's like the submission is becoming JAMB exam. You know, where we have to analyze and see and say, okay, who is going to be, you understand where it's coming from, like who's definitely going to have the final say in everything?
I think that our problem really is semantics.
Okay.
And because we brought it into the space of marriage, the truth about it is any marriage that will thrive, both will submit. I'll cite an example.
Sure.
So I'm your wife, and I cook you a meal and serve you, and you eat it. If I didn't want you to eat food, I won't serve you. At that point, hello, sir, you have just submitted your health and well-being, literally, to me.
Not the other way around, that people see it.
You have submitted your well-being, your health, to me.
That's right. Very true.
So the truth about it is, it's a fluid state.
Okay.
Yeah.
Submission is both ways. So the problem that we have is in the semantics of it. That, how the word was presented to us. Now, when you were saying about the fact that submission is a religious concept, domiciled in the Christian religion, you know, I was raising my head to say, maybe my research has not extended to that point, and you know, because you learn everything. I'd extend that research to find out how did it come in. Now, even in that space first, the preceding scripture says submit one to another.
Yeah.
That's the Ephesians 5:21.
The preceding one before
Yes,
the
21
popular
says submit one to another. Then 22 down then says wife to husband, then husband. So, because in marriage, it has to be a fluid state. You submit, I submit. So what's submission? Submission is simply that I let my opinion stay for your opinion to go. And that happens every time in marriage without putting a name to it.
Without putting a tag to
Without
it.
putting a
I'm
name
telling you.
to
I'm
it.
telling
So
you.
why are
once
we
put
tagging
a
it?
You see, the difference I think we should draw and where the problem started from is there's a difference between subserviency and submission. In the time past, we have mistaken subserviency for submission. And I always say it, there is nowhere in the world, in any amongst living things, that you will oppress or suppress a person forever. It will get to a point where the persons perceived to be oppressed or suppressed would raise a resistance at some point.
At some point.
And that's what we then see now, that it then now looks like the agenda does not even want to hear anything that starts with S if it's not E that is following it. If you know, you know. You know,
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. You know, so it then looks like they don't want to. But the truth about it is, in marriage, it is effortless, actually, when you don't put a tag to it. Even when we bring it back to an organization or an association, whatever you call it, you will find that part-time, you will have somebody's opinion
Far better.
takes a higher level over another person's opinion. Because the truth about it is we want to be better. We want results. We want to do things well. And if somebody comes with a position and you have another position that is superior to that other position, then naturally the superior position would take course. Now, when we then bring it into marriage, because we put a tag to it, because we have attached it to a particular gender, then it becomes a problem.
So,
Because the concept of subserviency is mixed somewhere in marriage, in men-women relationship from time past that we are trying to separate. Unfortunately, now we're throwing away the child with the bathwater. That's why you now see that, you know, women, because of what they have seen in time past, don't even want to hear anything close to it. But the thing there to draw is submission and subserviency. Now, submission will happen in any relationship. Any, whether it is marriage or otherwise. Submission will happen part-time. In fact, if you, for instance, you want to board a public transport, you enter into a public transport, you already have submitted your life to the driver.
So submission is a way of life.
It's a way of life. It's a fluid state. It happens between two or more people in a space, in a relationship, having interaction. It will continue to happen. And so if the relationship will be healthy, successful, it would naturally move from side to side. However, in marriage, because there is an order in marriage, whether we like it or not, and the order in marriage as we practice here, there are some, countries where, a woman can have two husbands.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes, very well.
Practice it.
Very well.
But here we don't practice that. Now, marriage in Nigeria, in Africa, in fact, even in Africa, these women married two husbands. Is Africa, it's not even foreign. No.
Yes,
It's Africa. So let me not even say in Africa. Let me leave it to Nigeria. So in Nigeria, the man is the head of the family. The man marries the wife. You understand? And so even though they are partners, there is a senior partner. And so it then means that when conflicts, not necessarily conflict, when we are not able to agree on a position, and we have ascertained that it's not one is bad, one is good. It's a situation of both are good, but we need to take one. Now, subserviency is where this is bad, this is good. But because the bad or the good is coming from me as a woman, then we must take the bad. And then I suffer the bad decision. That's subserviency. That's blind obedience. That's no submission. You know, so in a space where we have two good decisions, but we need to take a position, and there are no decisions that we can merge. You know, say for instance, okay, maybe we want to be somewhere, we want to do two things, and say, okay, we'll do this first, and then we'll do the other one. It has to be, we have just one opportunity to take it. In marriage, ordinarily, depending on how the structure of the marriage is, if the marriage is structured on what is best for our children, irrespective of where it is coming from, whose opinion it is, then that will supersede, and then we'll speak to whose opinion.
I'm sorry to cut you short, but I would like to ask Mr. Allright, what is healthy submission and what is unhealthy submission? Because based on what you're saying, you said obedience. Some people obey blindly and they target submission. So when is submission healthy and when is submission unhealthy?
That question is not so easy as it sounds. Because right now, you know why? The reason why I'm saying that is because I'm looking at it from also the explanations that she has given.
Okay.
Right. So I want to look at it now from another interesting organizational point. So I'm looking at my marriage and I'm looking at my family as the military.
Okay.
So the question becomes, if I say submission is healthy, submission becomes healthy, I would say it is healthy is if I have already given you, for example, the power and the authority in this partnership to make final decisions.
Okay.
It means that you have also accepted not just to make final decisions, you have also accepted to take final responsibility of the outcome of that decision.
Okay.
Now, the final decision means that it does not necessarily mean what you brought to the table. I could have brought opinion A and you brought opinion B. And right now, opinion A is good, opinion B is good. It's not a must that because you are the head, you making the final decision means that, you see, if my wife makes a decision, if my wife brings an opinion, I bring an opinion, and I decide to say, okay, let's go with your opinion. Does it mean that I have submitted? It does not actually mean that I have submitted. It actually means that I've actually made the best decision for the organization. I did not submit. I only just took the opinions on the table and took the best of it.
That's submission.
So it's not submission.
Why do you call it submission?
Okay.
Why don't you call it decision making?
Still the tagging.
You see, it's like you're over-tagging.
That's where the tag
Now,
is.
see,
The tagging comes from.
now see it, because when we are actually talking about submission, we are talking about, in submission, we are talking about power and authority.
Yes.
So when I picked your opinion, was I submitting to power, was I submitting to authority, or I was making a decision, or I was making a choice?
You were submitting to logic.
I was submitting to logic,
I
not
like
to
that.
power, not to authority.
Okay.
I want us to understand it because she did a very great job by helping us break it down and the rest. So what is blind? What healthy submission right
Yes,
now?
and unhealthy.
Healthy
But
submission.
I'm sorry to cut you short. But when we come back from the break, we
Yes.
now finalize the healthy and
And your healthy submission.
Because now two words are popping up. Power, authority, then decision making. I've learned a lot today. Okay, the Big Bunny Show continues after this break. Alrighty, welcome back from that short break. Of course, we're talking about love and submission in marriage. And of course, our guests have been taking us into that. And two words keep popping up. No, can I say two? Decision making. Yes. And that there's been a tag given to submission. It's just a word at the end of the day. But we are still going to go into that matter because Mr. Allright was talking. I asked him a question on healthy and unhealthy submission.
Yes.
And it was about trashing that house first.
Yes, so I was trying to use the military as an example to do that. So healthy submission is that if I realize that this is an organization, and so the organization has to have one front, right? It has to have one front.
Yeah.
If the head of this, for example, you are the head, the two of you right now are the head of this panel conversation. If you make a decision that goes against what my wish is at a particular time, and I decide to follow, is it healthy or unhealthy?
Depending on you.
Now, you see who interprets what is healthy and who interprets what is healthy. Say, for example, you said, let us go on a break. And I was talking. Now, if I stopped talking, my flow would have been interrupted.
Okay.
If I continued talking, would it have been healthy or unhealthy submission?
Okay, I think that's the
Then you see, the thing about it is that many times we get to analyze this thing as if it's something that has to do with theory. Right? But many times the interpretation comes with when you have a real life situation. So let's assume that the two of you are partners, right? You're not partners, let's assume. So for your career, you need to be in Abuja for your career.
Okay.
For your own career, you need to be in Ibadan for your career. So if you insist as the husband, right? This is just a make-up scenario. If you insist as the husband that we should stay in Ibadan, is it a healthy, and she agrees,
Okay.
is it a healthy submission or an unhealthy submission? It will be a healthy submission if her staying back in Ibadan will profit her and the kids.
Okay.
So you see, we are not looking at the family. Will it profit the family more? It's like some people will tell you that your marriage is not healthy enough to jackpot. Because I'm also a family lawyer, like, it's not healthy enough to jackpot. It's not because the marriage is bad, but it's not healthy enough because if you face the stress and reality
Can you stand the test of time?
can your marriage survive it? Right? So, for example, now I'm looking at the marriage and I'm like, if we stay here, if the woman decides to say, I'm going to stay back in Ibadan, her decision will be unhealthy. If staying back in Ibadan will not profit the entire organization.
At the end of the day.
The entire organization is husband, wife, and children. Right? But the question now becomes, if she stays back, will you say it is unhealthy? If she leaves and she says she's going to Abuja and the husband and the children decide to say they are not following, or as she's leaving, she decides to take the children along and the husband is here, will you say that decision has been healthy? Because right now you have split the marriage, you have split the family. So, do you understand it at the end of the day? So, whatsoever healthy submission, so this is what I would say as healthy submission. This is my decision about healthy submission.
Okay.
Healthy submission is any submission you make that betters the marriage and the family. Unhealthy submission is any decision you make that at the end of the day is bad for the marriage and for the family.
Okay. I think we are getting somewhere.
Yeah, we are.
All right, coming back to you, Mrs. Oteshile, I would like to ask you, because I would like to balance love and submission. Now, how do you think love and submission, how do you think they complement each other? Are they distinct or, they are dependent?
So I try to explain what love is. Love is that decision that you make. the commitments that you make to somebody. In that context, then, submission is one of the wheels or one of the tools that will be used or should be used in a relationship where love exists. And I say it again, that submission is just a tag. And the problem that we have is because of the tag that we have put on it. When All Right was talking, I said to him, you know, you just have submitted. So whether it's you're submitting to authority, you're submitting to power, or you're submitting to logic, whatever makes you feel happy. But the truth about it is
you have submitted.
So what is submitting in the first place? What's the submission? It's releasing something. If bring it in class, it says submit your papers. Submit your exams or your exam scripts. It's releasing what you have in your hand. That's what submit means. And the truth about it is, in our day-to-day interaction, as I have said it, whether it is in marriage or otherwise, we will submit.
Every day, yes.
We will submit. One's opinion. In marriage, a man dresses in a particular way, and the wife doesn't like it. The problem then is how we request for the submission that I think becomes a problem. She can choose to buy him something that she likes, and then he wears it. Or she can choose to nag about what he's wearing. And
So it depends on the method.
And for peace sake, he decides, well, if I wear this thing, this woman will not let me rest. Let me just, you know, wear. Or before he starts, just say, mommy, our mommy, what should we wear today? You know? So it's the how. But the truth about it is, once it is a love, I even want us to get it from, let's not even limit it to love relationship. Let's understand and get comfortable with the word submission.
So what actually brings about this tag that we put? Is it the culture? Is our religion that actually puts a tag to submission? It's
a mix of both. So culture and religion has brought us to that point where we have tagged submission and tagged it in the negative. Now, I will say that in any marriage, there are different styles of leadership, just like, you know, governance. So you have the military, you have democratic, you have autocratic. But the truth about it is, at different times in your marriage, you would or might have to use all of these types of leadership. There is the part where it has to be the military. Because the truth is, we see things differently. We know things differently. So I think that if we always place the interest of the family or interest of the children as priority, it will help the conversation that we have.
Exactly.
So if for instance, you want to make a decision that I know that it is injurious to the health of the children or to your well-being or to your health, or to my health, then, you know, a military style comes in. Now, there are times when it becomes democratic because, okay, you also must feel that you're heard. I always say it, if there is a man that does not give opinion to his wife, or respect his wife's opinion or allow, the man won't live long. He will suffer. Sometimes you assume that you're enjoying. You won't have peace because women just have a way of frustrating your life. At the end of the day, when you look at it long and short, that life then can be cut short. And then nobody has the monopoly of it, actually. That's the truth. Nobody has the monopoly of frustrating the other. But the truth about it is, we're human beings. So even if I can't talk, there are ways and things that I can be doing that will speak on my behalf. So if we first get used to the concept of submission and remove the tag that it is a gender thing or that it is negative, then it will be a lot easier for us to have relationships that are healthy. When you begin to look at what is healthy, what is unhealthy, it then becomes, what is the cost? So this decision that I want to make, what is the cost? There must be consent in submission. Now, so what is the cost? If I, for instance, let me use the example you use. Oh, family, my business would, or my career would thrive in Abuja. His career would thrive in Ibadan. And I've married him. The point, for instance, I should have known first. So, but if I am moving to Ibadan, we must have had a conversation that between this period and this period, we will find a way to help your career also thrive in Ibadan. If we don't find that, if it's not part of the conversation that we are having, that's not submission, that's subserviency. Because I will lose myself, I will lose my identity at the end of the day, and then resentment will set in. And that's why you find that what you see in marriages now, that used to be before, it looks like the woman gives too much. The woman makes the most sacrifices in marriage, and resentment begins to set in. And that's what, you know, many young women don't now even want to deal with. Then they throw away the bathwater with the child. So in the midst of it all, whether it is the guy, the man, or the woman, we must be able to find that space to say that, okay, we need to settle this marriage. And for the time being, we are just starting it. What can work for us? Because I am the breadwinner. So priority is on my job for it to be stable. You know, because I'm supposed to provide. Priority is on my job for it to be stable. Can you move to Ibadan? Give me 3 years. Give me 4 years. And let's see what we can turn around and how we can turn around to make sure that you find your fit. The truth about it is nobody knows tomorrow. So my marriage is about 14 years now. And when I got married, my husband was in Ijebu-Ode. I was working in Abuja. And then I had to make a decision. It was a new marriage. Am I going to be flying from Abuja to Ibadan? To Ijebu-Ode, for that matter. So I resigned my job, and it was a good paying job, to go to Ijebu-Ode, and I did not have a job. So I was there in Ijebu-Ode for 1 year, and it was the most frustrating 1 year of my life in the marriage. But you know, as I was there, we were having conversations about us living in Ijebu-Ode, because I just knew that I cannot stay on in Ijebu-Ode. And when the opportunity for him to move to Lagos, we both didn't like Lagos, but it was a better option than Ijebu-Ode. So we both took the option, you know, and then went to Lagos. Now, I tried to, you know, to buttress the fact that is not so much about, oh, who submitted. It's what's the best interest of the family, of the wife, of the husband.
I think,
can we find that balance in that space and then put a timing
to it,
to what we're doing?
I think I'd like to come to Mr. O right now before we go on the break. What are the ways, since we are saying now that submission seems to be a tag we put on decision making, so why not, what are other ways that couple can actually practice to ensure that the marriage strives with love?
Strives with love. Everything we have said and everything my friend here has already said. Right. The thing about it is that many times for people who have issues with the whole submission idea in their marriage, and I'm seeing this as an African man who grew up in a rural community. I'm a family lawyer. I'm also a counseling psychologist. And so I see these things either in the counseling room, or I see them in the divorce, in the family court, or I'm seeing them in one village meeting, right? Is the fact that I always ask myself, like, how did people agree to marry each other in the first place?
That's a big question.
Yeah, because the interesting thing is that if you see people who are fighting regarding, oh, I am the man, I am the husband, you must submit, you must do this, you must do that, and the rest. And the woman is still saying, oh, I'm the neck. You say, I'm the neck that determines where the head turns. You know, that neck that determines where the head turns. You say, Yoruba cultural thing.
Okay.
You may not know. I have lived in 4 out of the 6 geopolitical zones of this country. And it's only in this part of Nigeria that I know that parable and statement is. So I can isolate it to that particular people. You see, the woman is saying, the man is saying, I am the head, this and that. He may be bringing a culture, a religious perspective. And the woman is saying, I am the neck, bringing up maybe a biological or cultural thing at the end of the day. So the question always comes down to, the two of you, how did the two of you even choose to marry in the first place? What were the common ideologies people had?
Yeah.
What was the common ideologies people had regarding this particular thing? See, for every matter, just like Oteshilia said, for every matter that comes to the table in my house, my wife and I already know who has the final say.
Okay, sorry, we
We
are
go
not
on
saying the
this
final say
break.
yet, but we have to go on this break.